back to Pink Turtle Soaps. For today I'm making a grapefruit lemongrass soap. The fragrance is definitely very citrusy. It's very energizing. It would be perfect if you're needing something like in the morning in your shower to help wake you up. It also reminds me of a spa scent. It smells like something that would be very therapeutic or in the sort of aromatherapy section. So if you're looking for something along those lines, I can highly recommend this one. I'm also going to be doing an in the pot swirl, so I'm super excited about that. In this container, I have all of my oils melted down and ready to go. In this white container, I have my lye water. So my next step is to pour my lye water into my oils. I'm going to blend them together, and then I'll bring you back for the next step. Okay, so now that everything is nice and blended together, I'm going to split this off into, I'm going to split part of it into two smaller containers. And that's going to be for our two accent colors. So for the larger container, I'm using a brand new color. Well, it's brand new to me anyways. It's called Summer Crush. And let me see if I can... Look how pretty that is. I saw this and I fell in love with it immediately. It's called Summer Crush and it comes from Nurture Soap. So I'm going to be putting some of that into this larger container here. And like I said, I've never used this colorant before. So I don't know how it's going to look in the final product, but if it stays the color that it is in this container, if it stays pretty true to its original color, I'm going to be very happy. The same can be said for this yellow. It's called Mimosa Yellow, and I got this to try out as well. I'm going to add a little bit into one of the accent colors here. And then for our last color, I'm using High Society, and it's from Nurture Soap as well. And I have used this before, so I know that it stays pretty true to the original color here. Very pretty green. So all I'm going to do now is give all of these a really quick blend with a stick blender, get that color nice and incorporated. Okay, so I got all of my colors nice and blended, so I'm just going to take a second and scrape down the sides because sometimes colorant can get stuck and you don't want chunky colorant inside your soap when you go to cut it. You want to make sure it's all nice and incorporated. So I want to do that really quick. I'm going to go ahead and add the fragrance oil as well and mix that in by hand, and then I'll bring you back when it's time to start pouring it into the molds. Okay, so I forgot to mention there's one more step before we start pouring into the molds, and that's to do the in the pot swirl. So I think I'm going to start with the green, and I'm going to pour it inside this bigger container here. I'm not going to pour all of it. And then I'm going to pour some of the yellow. I'm not going to pour all of it. And so I'm going to grab our mold. Do my best to angle that for you guys so that you can see what I'm doing. And with the soap being very liquidy like this, it's going to swirl probably almost like a marble. Yep. That's what I was expecting. And if those colors stay bright after the soap hardens, I think it's going to look very nice. So now I'm going to take what's left of these two accent colors and pour very up high, almost like a drop swirl. So I guess this will be sort of like a in the pot swirl plus drop swirl. We'll have to see. Oop. Making a mess here. I'm just going to alternate between those two colors till I get the mold nice and full. now I'm going to do is wait for these two colors to thicken up a little bit because they're still very soupy. So I'm going to wait for the soap to set up, and as it sets up, I'll start ladling those on top to get a really pretty sort of peaked middle for the soap. I'll bring you back after that step's finished. Okay, so I lied. I changed my mind last minute. I wanted to try to do a swirly design with the leftover soap, and I decided to add some pink Himalayan salt. I'm on a pink salt kick here lately, if you haven't noticed. But I'm just going to take it and lay it right down the center. And the soap is still really, I don't want to say liquidy because it has thickened up, but it's still very sticky, I guess you could say. So these salts are going to stay right where they are. They should all stay right where I put them. So I think that's going to look great. I'm going to go ahead and finish laying the rest of this salt down. And I'm going to spray it down with rubbing alcohol just to help prevent soda ash from forming. And then we'll come back in about 24 hours. I'll check it, and if it's ready, we'll go ahead and unmold it and cut it up. So we're back the next day to cut up the Grapefruit Lemongrass soap. And I can say that the Summer Crush turned a little more orange than I was expecting it to. But I mean, I still think it looks just fine. I was hoping it would retain a little bit more pink, but we may get a better idea of what it looks like once we cut off a bar. Here's an up close look. I'm really impressed with this yellow, how bright it is. I'm sorry if my voice is a little raspy. It's really early in the morning, so my voice is a little bit raspy when I wake up first thing, so I apologize for that. And then there's the top with the pink salt that I added. And also I added just a little bit of gold biodegradable glitter. I thought that would help tie in the yellow and the green. I'm actually going to turn it on its side because it has salt. I thought I could avoid dragging down the front of the bar, but I'm afraid that's going to happen anyway. So just turn it on its side to be safe. Let's go ahead and cut off another bar. Yeah, I'm very impressed with that yellow. I definitely see now that that Summer Crush is a color that you're going to want to use by itself. Or at least wait till it's a thicker consistency so that it doesn't blend with any of the other colors too much. But I still think this looks very pretty. My dog is barking outside now, so we'll just go ahead and speed up this process and cut the rest of the loaf.